Hello everyone, my name is Aiden, and I recently just finished Stephen King's On Writing. A lot of people are talking about this book right now, are reading it, are praising it, and I am gonna do the exact same thing. This book is great. I mean, Stephen King knows what he's talking about, and he's very confident in it, and that just makes you feel like, yeah, I should probably be paying attention to him. As someone who has really liked his writing so far, especially his ability to create these characters' voices, I'm definitely going to be absorbing everything that he's saying. The beginning of the book is mostly about his life and how he grew to become a best-selling author, and it was really interesting to hear his story. And then the next portion of the book is all about his tips and tricks on writing. I'm not going to go over everything that Stephen King talks about. I recommend just picking up this book and reading it. Even if you don't want to read about his life, you can skip that beginning part and just go to the next section. His biggest thing is the best way to become a great writer is to read and write as much as possible. So I know he tries to write like 2,000 words a day. So he spends like 4 to 6 hours writing a day. And another thing that Stephen King says is that he does not create outlines. He doesn't plot the whole story out. And that is something that I want to try. And I am trying it on things that I'm writing right now. It is something that I'm going to need to get used to. I am someone who really likes to plan things out and have structure. So to not do that makes me a little uncomfortable, but I can see how it could create a better story. So that is something that I'm pushing to try. I'm working on a novel as well as short stories. So for the short stories, by the way, I started a blog recently and I'm trying to post one short story a month to there. And then I possibly will create a video for that short story as well. I'm still working it out, trying to figure out what to do, but we'll get there. Another thing that Stephen King is big on is having your characters be honest. A lot of people are scared to do that, to have their characters be brutally honest because they feel like people are going to lash out at them, make negative comments. And a lot of people want to please everyone. But in reality, you can't please everyone. And the best thing to do is to have your characters be honest with their personality and views on life. And that's why Stephen King is so successful. He's not afraid to put it all out there. And yes, he does receive letters from people bashing him for being honest, basically. Overall, that's okay because he's successful. So
That's how it's done.
we talked about how he says the best way to become a great writer is to read and write as much as possible. And then we also talked about how he does not create outlines for a story. He has the characters play it out, and then he just writes down what happens. He's basically the scribe for these characters. Another thing that Stephen King talks about is adverbs. He hates adverbs. And not only adverbs, he also talks about English and grammar in general. It's important for a writer to know grammar and to know structure of their language. So he gives plenty of examples in here. So instead of saying the meeting will be held at 7 o'clock, you can say the meeting's at 7. You don't need to put in all the fanciness of it. Just few simple words can get it across. Instead of the rope was thrown by the writer, just say the writer threw the rope. You don't need to be all fancy with it and try to be all poetic unless that is the basis for your story. Just get things across. And then, like I said, he hates adverbs, and I agree. You don't need to say he closed the door firmly. Based on the context, you could tell how he's going to close the door. So you don't need to put these extra words in to emphasize how characters are saying something. Just put the dialogue in there, and the reader is going to read it in their own way and interpret it how the character would be saying it. And based on context, how well you write, they should be able to overall understand how the character is saying something. So, like Stephen King said, a lot of people do put in these fluff words because they're afraid that people are not going to understand if they don't. But we need to remember that readers are human beings and they're smart. They can read the context and understand how people are feeling in that moment. So don't worry about it too much. If you're going to be a writer and your grammar skills and English skills may not be up to par, do some Khan Academy or something. I mean, Khan Academy is free and there's a lot of classes on there. Just review English and grammar.
Fine, grammar police.
And that's something I need to do. I'm not afraid to admit it. My grammar skills are definitely not up to par. So I'm just going through Khan Academy and brushing up on everything. And it is helping. So Stephen King says that writing is about letting go of fear.
I'll feast on your flesh as I feed on your fear.
So a lot of people write with fear, and that can diminish their writing style and writing ability and their story. So if you just write with honesty and openness, your story is going to be so much better. Something that I really like that he talks about is having your writing space, your writer's area, someplace that is just for you, that you can go to close the door, get away from everyone, and do your thing. I think that is very important. As someone who lives with two women that I adore, but
don't do anything that you're going to regret.
Can drive me up the walls sometimes with, coming into the office and asking for this and that. It can really prohibit me from getting my work done. So what I am doing, I'm going to be making a video later on about this, but what I'm doing is I am creating my own writer's studio in my shed in the backyard. So that's very exciting. But what Stephen King is saying is that when you're writing your first draft, have a place you can go, you can close the door, don't let anyone distract you, get your work done. And while you're writing your first draft, don't show it to anyone. Don't talk about it to anyone. Your first draft is your time to just let it all flow out and get on paper and not be influenced by what other people are saying. Afterwards, you can have the door open. You can start showing it to people, but make sure it's the right people. Choose the people that you know are going to give you the feedback that you need. There's some that will just say, oh yeah, it was good, or it was all right. Like, what is that? Tell me more. So find your people that are going to do that for you, because it's very important. You need people to read your work and give you feedback so that you can improve it, so that the general population is going to read and like your work. So what Stephen King does when creating a story, he creates a situation. What if a writer is held hostage by a chaotic, crazy fan. He creates that situation, and then he creates his characters. He doesn't make his characters super in-depth. He doesn't create a whole page or pages typing out everything that their life story and every personality trait and all that. He doesn't do that. He does the basics. And then he just starts writing, and he lets the characters decide what's going to happen. So yeah, anyways, there is a lot more in here, but I recommend, if you do want to write, pick this book up. Get it from the library if you don't want to buy it. But here's what I say, and this is what I learned early on. If you want to be successful, learn from the best, and then find what works for you. Stephen King is just someone that a lot of people admire, including myself. So reading this, I can understand why he is a bestseller. I really appreciate him writing this, especially during that hard time in the 90s of what happened to him. If you're curious, read the book. But anyways, I just wanted to review that real quick. And I want to encourage people, if you want to do it, just do it. Don't let people hold you back. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let anxiety hold you back. Because that's what held me back for a long time, all of those. But now, I'm in my 30s, and I don't want to regret that I didn't do what I wanted to do. I'm already regretting it now, that I didn't pursue things when I was younger, in my 20s. It's never too late. Whatever age you are, get to it, okay? And if you don't have people around you that are helping to encourage you to do what you want to do and follow your dreams, then find a community that does help you and does support you. There are a lot of groups and clubs out there that you can join, like writing groups, book clubs, all that. And then we have BookTube. I am here to support you. I'm trying to produce a lot more content on writing and books, giving tips and tricks, even though I'm not a full expert, but I do my research. And so I want to help people and encourage people as much as possible. Let's make this a comfortable community for us to just chat and hang out and learn from each other and encourage each other. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. And if you have any other books that you would recommend to writers, comment below. I'm trying to read more. I have a lot of books. Actually, let me show you. I wanted to be a screenwriter before, so I got a few screenwriting books, but now I feel like I'm kind of more into actually writing fiction books. So yeah, I don't know how my camera's looking right now. Thank you for watching. It's a beautiful day. I am gonna go to the bookstore, sit in the coffee shop, and do some work. So until next time, stay happy, stay healthy,